Good evening, everyone. Up until 1993, the topic of who the best fighter in the world was a very open discussion. Many people watched films such as Enter the Dragon, starring film icon Bruce Lee, and thought that Bruce Lee was the best fighter in the world. Other people disputed this and watched heavyweight champion boxers such as Muhammad Ali, Smoking Joe Frazier, Iron Mike Tyson, and they thought that no one could beat the heavyweight boxing champion. Other people looked at whoever won the gold medal in wrestling at the Olympics and thought they could easily take down and beat any boxer or karate guy. The problem is no one really knew because there was no way to find out. But in 1993, a family from Brazil was about to change everything. The Gracie family came to America, and they specialized in an art that not many people were used to, called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They were so confident in Jiu-Jitsu being the best style that there was, that they held open challenges in their garage called the Gracie Challenge. What the Gracie Challenge was a member of the Gracie family would fight in a pretty much a street fight, no holds barred, anything goes contest with anyone off the street who walked in. And they would film these fights. And you had kung fu guys come in, you had karate guys, you had boxers, and they would all come in and challenge just a random member of the Gracie family. But what these videos showed was that none of them had an answer for Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. The member of the Gracie family would just take them down, get on top of them, and submit them. So these home videos started to become more and more popular. And a little bit of the word got out about Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. And in 1993, Rorion Gracie decided he was so confident that no one could beat Gracie Jiu-Jitsu that he wanted to hold a tournament and put it live on pay-per-view. This was called the Ultimate Fighting Championship. It was a one-night single elimination tournament, and it pitted style against style. They chose Royce Gracie to compete on behalf of the Gracie family. Royce was looked at as one of the weaker members of the family. He was small, about 170 pounds, and they chose him to enter the tournament, confident that even he would easily win the tournament. Boxers entered who just specialized in boxing. A sumo wrestler entered the tournament. Karate guy, kickboxer, wrestlers. There was no weight classes, no rules, anything goes. And one by one, Royce Gracie submitted everyone that he fought and easily won the tournament. He submitted guys who were over 100 pounds heavier than him. And it really opened people's eyes to Jiu-Jitsu and how effective it was. The pay-per-view did really well and it was popular, but the problem was it was really brutal and barbaric. There were no rules. You could hit to the groin, you could headbutt, there were no gloves. You could have a 300-pound man fighting a 155-pound man. And so due to the brutality of this, many people were protesting it and saying that this needs to be stopped and this needs to be banned. Even Senator John McCain at the time publicly stated that the UFC was nothing more than human cockfighting. Eventually, with all this negative publicity, it led to the UFC being banned on pay-per-view, which it's pretty hard to get banned on pay-per-view. But eventually, new owners bought the UFC, Dana White and the Fertitta brothers, and they wanted to make the UFC a legitimate sport. So they implemented the use of gloves. They made various rules such as no groin strikes, no punching or kicking in the back of the head, no knee strikes while on the ground. And they also implemented numerous weight classes. So gone would be the freak show days of a 400-pound sumo wrestler fighting a 135-pound boxer. With this new look, with the gloves, with the new rule sets, the fighters in the sport also adapted. It was no longer a karate guy against an Olympic caliber wrestler or a jiu-jitsu guy against a boxer who's never trained jiu-jitsu. Now everyone was training in everything. Boxers were learning takedowns. Jiu-jitsu guys were learning head kicks. Everybody was trying their best to improve and evolve and get good at everything. This led to more exciting, more competitive fights. After the implement of the new rules, the new weight classes, the gloves, the evolving fighters, slowly but surely, the UFC started getting respect back. People slowly started to stop viewing it as barbaric and a street fight, and they started to respect how dedicated and how much work these athletes had to put in. They saw their skills evolve, and they saw the sport evolve from being a brutal street fight to a high-level athletic contest. So you look back in the early 90s when the UFC was banned from pay-per-view to it being one of the fastest growing and biggest sports in the world. Thank you.